Chet Lampert here, my journey to personal freedom. It is September 10th, 2019, and just got to catch you up with what I've been doing the last 8 days since the previous video. So, like I said, I had gotten the whole system working, like my test setup with the revolving sensor data. So it's 6-axis, 3-axis JavaScript, 3-axis accelerometer, and I was going to do machine learning. I was going to get 1,000 steps, whatever. So I got a few hundred, took that in the next day. So the next night I got the couple hundred, took it in the following day, ran some machine learning on it. Didn't really get a whole lot, didn't get very accurate. The validation set wasn't matching the training set, which meant the algorithm was learning the data and not like it wasn't being in general. It was learning, it was just training to figure out how to make a yes or a no on the training set. Not really, it didn't apply to the validation set, which is part of this machine learning stuff that that you figure out if you get involved in that topic. Well, to be able to fix that, I poured over that data. I poured over the example set. I was trying to figure out what I could do differently, and I was looking online at all kinds of references, all kinds of resources, and so I spent, a ton of time on this to try to figure this stuff out, and nothing was really registering as far as code I could change, tweaks, and simple things. Like there wasn't any easy button on what to do. So then I was reading papers on what they were doing to get good results with motion type data using sensors, was put more information about what the data was into the algorithm. So what they call them are features. Like you could do whatever is a feature. You can do value squared, you can do square root of the value, you can do min max, you can do a mean, you can do I don't know, sum of square. You can do all kinds of things and call them a feature. I don't really get why they call it a feature, but it's something that the machine can potentially learn from and move forward. And then I remembered in the training for machine learning where they talked about that sort of concept where, yeah, you have a couple pictures and it doesn't really learn well, or it doesn't have an opportunity to learn that well unless you give it more information than what the actual pictures are. So what you give it, God damn it, planes now, that's a low one. So what you give it with the algorithm, you give it more than just the actual picture. You give it the x coordinate value multiplied by the x coordinate value, and the y by the y, and the color values. You can get all kinds of things, and that can help it figure out what you want to do with the data, how to use the data, how to use the information to give you a good answer that works with not only the training set but the validation set as well. And the validation set is, it has to work there or it's never going to work. You can't generalize it to anything else. So I saw what this other paper was using on what their features were. It was like the min of x, the min of y, and they were using accelerometer data and not really JavaScript, I don't think, but it was just accelerometer data. So I was like, well, you know what? We have acceleration. The integral of that is velocity. The integral of velocity is position. So theoretically, you should be able to get, close to position, which is what I want, a circle, non-circle. So it's a position. The ending position versus the starting position, that sort of thing. It should learn with that. So I gave it that information. I gave it acceleration, gave me the velocity, and I gave that for x, y, z, and then I put that in the algorithm, and it actually made it better. The velocity, just the velocity, and then I added position, and that also made it better. The validation set data information was going up. I was like, oh my god, maybe this is the freaking problem. And then I was like, you know what? Let me add the gyroscope information. And well, then I thought, okay, well, this other paper talked about all these different 18 features that they used. So they took their data and they took their data plus these 18 features that could help their machines learn the algorithm to figure out yes or no, which is what I'm doing. And then so I added 20 more features, 24 more features on top of the 12 that I added. All kinds of stuff, min, max of every single parameter. So that's 12 right there. Then I had average, and then I had like a weighted average. So I added all these different things, and then I tried to run it again, and the dang so then and it took forever to add all those, and the data is like 200 megs just to upload to this server so I can run the test. This 200 meg file every single time, so it takes like 20 minutes to upload just the data. Running the test it takes longer than 20 minutes, but man, just waiting for data to upload is pretty painful. I gotta get better internet, to tell you the truth. So neither here nor there, I do it. Got it all fixed, the whole template, the whole example program with my data and all these different features, and it doesn't even train. Like it won't do anything. It just gets stuck at one number and never. It's like, Jesus Christ, like what's going on? So I've got to figure that out, and that's where I kind of left it. I'm gonna remove everything that I added recently, the last 24 things that I added. So I have 36 features total. I'm gonna get rid of a bunch of them, like 24 of them, and just leave 12. Try to get back to that, get it working again, and then add one by one, and we'll see where the machine's conking out. Like I only have no ideas, but that's one way that I generally figure things out, is go back to what was kind of working, or try to. Hopefully you remember what you did, or you saved off what you did, and I've been saving off what I've done, so it makes it easy to go backwards, which is a very freaking important lesson. Any person, at least in my field in engineering, you have to be able to back up and go back to something that worked so you can go forward again. Because if you screw up and you can't reproduce what you did last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever ago, then you got to do it all again, and you don't know where it screwed up. So that's kind of a painful lesson that everyone learns on their own. This is one of life lessons that life is going to teach you. Do it right. Save your information, save your backups, or risk the penalties, which is doing the whole damn thing over again from scratch because you got so far and it didn't work, and you can't back up, and you don't know what you did exactly to get it working again, and then you're like, shit, you got to start all over again. You got to start from wherever you can remember how to do it correctly, and that's where you got to go. So I'm gonna get back to the sensor stuff with the data. Before I talk to Yadu again, I wanna work on this some more. Like, get as much as I can so that when I talk to him, he knows that I've really, I'm no freaking expert. I just started, but I've done something. I've tried. I've played with it. I've twisted a lot of knobs. I have more intelligent questions to ask him. So the conversation with him is going to be much more fruitful than if I didn't do all this work, because I would just be asking him basics. What's 1 + 1? 1 + 1's not going to help me. I need the furthest stuff out possible, like something that's going to dial me into this is going to work or not work, and like get me closer. And because I'm getting a little closer, but I'm not there yet, and I need to get there. And meanwhile, so I had, for some reason, I brought the I had a scope, and so I wanted to do something. So then I thought, well, I know, I was gonna hook up, see how I can hook up. I got these new sensor boards, and so this is what I'm gonna use. This is TI sells this little board that does Bluetooth and sub-gig wireless protocols, where that's kind of what I need for this app. I want to go into a phone eventually, so what better thing to start with than something that does Bluetooth low energy right now, and it has a processor, and it should be able to read. I got 4 sensors. If I can get this one little tiny super low power processor to read all 4 of those sensors at a fast rate and get that data over the air through Bluetooth, that's a huge win, because that's the product, and it doesn't even cost that much. Like, I can prototype this thing for not that much money, which means when I go to make it, if I can figure out this machine learning thing, it's gonna be cheap, like super cheap. I bought a whole board, like it's basically a whole processing board. It comes with this huge ecosystem of software, this SDK, it's got this sensor controller, it's got Bluetooth running, you got example apps. It's like a whole real production thing that is useful and will do the Bluetooth for me. So I got that. I need to get that working anyway. So I figure I'd take a break from the sensor information, go to that, because that, you know, give me another win. But that's been, of course, a struggle, because everything, it just has to be a struggle. I don't know, just engineering. That's what it is. You just gotta. The job is frustration and struggle, and then perseverance. So that's I guess why I'm doing it. I'm good at that. I'm good at the struggle. I don't know why. But it catches you, at least. Let me describe this. It's captivating, you know, these problems, especially when you see you could really do something that could be out there in the market. People can use your stuff. It's exciting. I don't know if it's exciting, but it gives you the passion, that gives you the interest to want to solve the problem. So that these problems now that I'm solving, man, I look forward to working on it. Like when I'm not working on it, I'm thinking of when can I work on it again. But I gotta be careful, because like I said in the last video, the family, I gotta make sure I keep up with that. And I've been trying, you know. We did Sunday again. We did our little Sunday tradition. We didn't have any friends over this weekend. We kind of avoided everyone. It was the weekend after the hurricane. Like I mentioned last video, that hurricane went through. That place is devastated. The Bahamas, the Abacos, namely. The main Abacos and then the little Abacos has all been just pounded for days. That storm was over them. So it's pretty sad. I mean, we've done some donations, but I don't know what else you can do. I mean, they're going to airdrop a bunch of supplies over there now. I'm sure they already are airdropping, and then I'm sure there's cruise ships going over there to help out, just to house people, I guess. I don't know, but it's a mess over there. The island's not a wealthy place. It's pretty poor. People don't have a whole lot of prospects. I listened to my video of the last video that I did, and I felt that I was kind of insensitive to the way I was speaking, and I don't want to sound. I was just talking about how I prepare, and if I'm hit, what I can do. But I live in a country that works. I live in a place where, you know, if you do something, you can. Your efforts will be paid back, meaning if you work hard, you can make a living. If you do well, if you protect your house, it can survive a storm. If you have insurance, they'll pay you. And, you know, this country works. That's what I mean. So it's possible to be prepared. In some places like Brazil, the favelas, the Bahamas is not as bad, but there's some really screwed up places that you can't prepare. There's no preparing. There's no ability to prepare. There's no money. There's no nothing. There's no education. So I don't want to sound like, yeah, anyone can just do it. It's easy. No, I'm able to do it because I live in this country. Thankfully, I was born in this country. That's what I'm very thankful of. Some people, they talk about how much they have to do with their lives, how they are. Well, good luck with that attitude if you grew up in a favela in Brazil. I mean, you're not going to be anything. I don't care who you are. You can be a drug dealer. You can be feared. You can go down the evil path, the murdering, if you're feared, it's because you're feared in a favela. That means you're a very, very, very bad person, and you likely didn't have a whole lot of options. And that's just one way you can make yourself feel important down there. But his options as far as doing the right thing and getting out of your circumstance, people do it, but man, the deck stacked against you. I mean, you got to play the hand you're dealt, but then you got a shit hand dealt to you if you start out in a favela in Brazil. I'll tell you that. I mean, it's going to be hard on you. So it's not zero. I mean, you're not starving to death, so you're a little bit above zero, but you're not way above zero, I wouldn't say. So like the Bahamas, they're better than that, but they don't have the ability to prepare like I did to bring it back what I was talking, what I went on those tangents. So I didn't do. No one said anything about what I said. No one's even watched the damn video but me so far, so I just wanted to say that because I listened and it sounded insensitive, so I don't want to sound insensitive. I just talk about what I do here. What they do there, I don't know what their circumstances are. Each individual person is different. I can relate more to people from here because I know I came from humble beginnings, and I know what that is. I don't know what humble beginnings are in the Bahamas. It doesn't relate. So that's why the tangent. So how did I get all of that? I was talking about the student controller. Be prepared, life lessons. Doing my traditional Sunday thing with my family, keeping that up. That's good. With the daughter today, she has a way about her of deflecting like responsibility for just about anything. So we talked a lot about, what your actions are tells me what you think, how important this thing is to you. If you don't want to clean your room, you can tell me you're going to clean your room next time. You can promise, you can beg, you can plead, but if your room doesn't get clean, that action tells me it's not that important to you. Like, so if you want the good things in life, like rewarded for being a good kid, then you better do your homework, you better study, you better get good grades. If you want to dance, your behavior tells me that you want to dance. Meaning you got all your school stuff done, you studied for your test, you're not late with stuff, you don't forget things at school, you make sure to do the right thing on a daily basis. Then that tells me that you really want to do dance because you're willing to put in the effort it takes to be able to do dance, and that effort means school's first. So that kind of stuff, she gets it a lot. It used to be a big struggle. She'd cry and wail and scream if she had to miss dance because of some school thing. But she's like, yeah, I really want to, but I just forgot. And I was like, sometimes you gotta miss dance to really know that you're gonna miss dance next time if you don't remember. So you better make that important in your life to remember doing what you're supposed to do. So that's the kind of thing, and it's just raising a kid. But that's the thing. Jordan says, don't let your kids do anything that makes you dislike them or something like that. It's one of his rules in 12 Rules for Life. That's the one thing, earn your way. You pick up after yourself, get your grades. You want to do all these great things, you can do anything you want, but you gotta want, and the want is not just you telling me you want it, or you start crying and telling me you want it so bad. No, the want is working for it. The want is movement. It's action. It's not the verbal expression. Words, for me, words are pretty cheap. I know who you are based on watching you. I don't need to hear a lot to know. I mean, some things to communicate, to express an idea. That's what language. I would respect people using language for that reason, but using language to talk about what you're gonna do or what you did, I'd rather see what you did. I'd rather see you doing, because then that tells me you mean it, you want it. Everyone talks about what they want, this, they want that, they want this, I don't think they want it, most of the time, because I don't see most people working for things. And if you're not working for it, I would disagree with you if you said you wanted it and I didn't see momentum toward that. Because then, yeah, you want it enough to say you want it, but what good is that? Just saying it. Whatever, doesn't matter. So that was the stuff about family life lessons. It relates back to what this thing is about. It's about the struggles, the successes, the moving forward in the idea, moving forward with learning the new things to get it done, and talking about how that relates to what life's about and what these lessons are from Naval Ravikant and Jordan Peterson are. I mean, they're, the Naval more business related, but still they're truisms, and your grandmother tells you these things because they matter, they're true, and it's just life. Like Jordan Peterson says this a lot, and I think he's right, that life is hard and there's no guarantees, and you could be the perfect person and you still get your knees cut out from under you. You can still get killed by random car crash, and so people might think, yeah, why bother, because you're just going to die anyway, and what does it matter anyway? The Earth's going to be sucked into the sun in 5 billion years, or whenever the scientists say it's going to happen. What does it matter? We're insignificant specks on an insignificant planet, an insignificant galaxy, and spinning around in the universe, and we don't even understand what the hell that is. But I think it matters to the kids. I think it matters to me, and I'd rather it matter. And so for that, what the hell was I get on this tangent about? Yeah, shit. I went on a tangent. I don't remember where I started, but I know it started with Jordan Peterson and one of his sayings. But God, I think it matters. Oh, the want, and if you really want it, you'll go out and do it. And but that wasn't it. Oh well, it's probably getting late. I haven't really been getting a lot of sleep, so maybe I should get to sleep earlier tonight. I'll keep going on these tangents and we won't know where we end up. All right, so September 10th, my journey to personal freedom, Chet Lampert. Hopefully everyone in the Bahamas made it out, but I mean, I know there are people died, so I feel pretty bad about that. So that's why you got to appreciate what you got now, because it could be taken away, Oh, that's what I was. Now I finally am back to where the hell I was. So it was all about, what he says is your best shot. The best shot at a good, meaningful life is to do the right things, to go the right way, to basically act the truth, to work hard, to move forward in life, to constantly be evolving and learning, to be a good person, to do what you think is right, to not do unto others what you would not want done to you. I guess that's the golden rule, and that's the silver rule, but it's basically, it's more of a negative. If you don't want someone to do something to you, just don't do it to them. The golden rule, what I ever heard, is do unto others if how you would have them do unto you. Well, maybe you just want to be left alone, and maybe just don't do things to others that you don't want them to do to you. And maybe that's a little bit better way to think of it. For me, it's a better way to think of it, because I don't want people messing with me. I want to be left alone. So if you do that, you go toward the truth, you speak the truth, you act the truth, meaning you act out what you think is right, what you know is right, to eat healthy. That's right. No one has to tell you to eat the right things. You know how your body feels. Do the right things, act the right way, and that's your best shot at a good life. And that's it's not a guarantee, but it's your best shot. So I guess that's a good place to close. And luckily, I figured out what the heck I was on, what I was talking about to begin with. So have a good night. My journey to personal freedom, Chet Lampert, September 10th. Bye.